I see my brothers coming.
That is Paul and John.
Yeah, when they came to the door, they find me seated in the sitting room, and Paul said, "This is the last day you are in this house. We are gonna get you out. And now you have to give us your phone. We are ceasing your communication." It's blows and punching me, blows. I remember saying, what is wrong with you people? I'm still mourning, mom. Why are you fighting? Why are you beating me? We want to kill you today and bury you like your mother today. Now I started peeping through the window. Is when I see they have descended on my son. I didn't know my son has already come. He's in the compound now because he had just gone briefly to the shops. They descended on him. We're using the panga and the crowbar, hammering him on the head. Another one holding like this, leaving him on the floor. When they beat him this and this, he fell down.
We're in Miti Mingi in Nakuru County, and we talked to Jane Waithera Mbugua about a vicious tragedy that happened in January this year. Jane.
Yeah, my name's Jane Waithera Mbugua, and thank you for coming. I am a single mother of 2 sons, born in a family of 9 members. I'm the second born in the family. My brothers follow my sister who follows me. From there is one who is working in Nakuru County, Karanja Mbugua advocate. And from there's Paul Mukomo, there's John Kireka, there's Stanley Muriuki, he's in the USA, there's Samuel Kamau, he's in New Zealand.
Okay.
And then from there's my sister Esther, she's in USA.
So in the family, you're the first to be employed?
I was the first to be employed, and I helped my father and my mother to educate my siblings.
And they got education?
Yeah, they got education. And some of them, I helped them to move out of Kenya because I left Kenya in 1998 and I went to stay in Botswana. I invited them there. They made their ways out of there to go to other places to hunt for green pastures, but they got employed there for some time.
So how many children do you have? 2?
I have 2.
Okay.
My firstborn son, Dennis Mbugua, Kennedy Mbugua. The second one is Anton Karanja.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me start with how I came to be in this incident.
Yes.
Or what came to happen, or what happened to us and my son. I left Namibia in 2021 March when I was called home that my mother is sick in the hospital. And then I had to come back here home to see my mother. When I came, I found her admitted in Nairobi Women here in Nakuru. When she was discharged, the doctor said she has developed a blood clot on the leg. And so that is not something that can heal like instant. And she was diabetic for 30 years. So I came with my mother home to take care of her. And my mom now became like a wheelchair person. So Dennis is the one to lift her from the bed, put her on the wheelchair, take her to the hospital, bring her back, or lift her from the bed, put her in the wheelchair, take her outside to bask in the sun, and then back.
So you became the caregiver to the grandmother?
He joined me and we are caregiving together.
Okay.
Until when she was taken to the hospital, I took her myself with Dennis, and I took her to the hospital on 20th December. She stayed there for 7 days. On the 7th day, she became like she's not well. And because she was not well, I could see like the breathing, she was laboring the breathing. And she passed on 27th. That is after 7 days. She passed on at 7:30 evening. And when she passed on, I was with my son Anton in the room, in the hospital room when she passed on. I told Anton, Mom has breathed the last. And she's like, be strong. I called my brother, the lawyer, the advocate. He came and he said, is it over? Is there anything more? Is it over? Is there anything more? He asked like that twice. And then I said, we have to take care of this body. And then he said, no, the body will be taken care of by the morgue people. So I called the morgue people. He left. And I was left there with the corpse. I called the morgue people. They came and took the body. And then Dennis was here. He came with a motorbike up to town. And then he joined us. And then we had to come back here.
So you came home, you and your 2 sons?
Yeah, we came home. And when we came home, it was surprising to me that the house was open, and because there was a house guard, but the bedroom was padlocked and the garage was locked. And then I was like, oh, who did this? And I was told, no, it's your brother who came during the day, and he
The advocate.
No. That one is already in town. There's another one, Stanley.
Stanley,
He stays
okay.
in US, Mbugua, Stanley Muriuki.
Between your mother's dying and Stanley being in the country, how long was the period?
My mother dying and Stanley being in the country was like, my mom was in the hospital for 7 days.
Yes.
And this one was in Kenya, like the day I took my mom to the hospital on 20th, he had arrived on 19th.
Mom dies on 27th of December, and the burial is on 5th of January.
Yeah, she was buried on 5 January.
What happens in between her death and the burial?
Okay, during her mourning period, it was like we were organizing a funeral. We were arranging funeral here, and my siblings, most of them, they preferred to do it in town. But later, after doing it in town, because that's where they have most friends, they could come here in the evening. And so we remained here, many of us, some of us, and I was here with my sons.
Okay.
Anton was in Nairobi, later joined me here, and it was a mourning period, an arrangements period, and we agreed the burial is on date 5. And I remember at one time I asked them, my brothers, when they were just lighting the eulogy, they never wrote like, they wrote everyone where he or she came from. But with me, I saw my name was blank. And I asked them, it's like, you people, you don't know where I came from. Even you don't want to write that I came from Namibia to take care of my mother. You can write, I have a farm here. I am from here. And they never did it. And they didn't care. And it was now in the radio announcement. It was in the eulogy. And that to me, I didn't mind much. And then now, during the funeral arrangements, I could see like there's tension and like they are not talking to me too much, and they are not talking to, they are on themselves. Like even after the funeral, they can go and talk at that gate, and they are leaving to go to town.
They're not spending the night here?
They are not spending the night here.
So you took care of your mother between March 2021 to December 2022?
Yeah.
That's a period of, those are like 9 months.
2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Did they ever come to visit from America and from New Zealand during those 2 years?
Let me say that the ones in New Zealand, I can say they came in 2022. 2021 they didn't. 2022, I see them in June. And another one came in May, I think, or July. So they later on came for burial. This one from America, I can't say how many times, because only Stanley could come, maybe because he has a business in town. He has a service station here. He could come, like maybe after some few months or so. But even my own brother who is here in town,
the lawyer,
yeah, he came here like 3 times for those 2 years. I have this sister of mine who follows me. She's in Nyeri. She also came here like a number I can count, but I didn't mind their presence, because sometimes when I have a problem and sometimes when there was need, I could contact them and they could send small money.
So they were helping take care of mom?
They were helping.
Okay.
They were helping. And I was doing it manually. I was also controlling the place, because my mom was having goats, cattle, sheep, and it's the shipping.
Okay. So 5th January, you bury your mother?
Yeah. And after the burial, I'm not told anything. We are just here. And I know that people don't disperse the same day and go.
Yes.
But after the burial, everybody left. And then come the next day on 6th is when I was told in the morning by one of my sisters. Actually, I overheard her telling somebody, there's a family meeting here. And everybody's coming from town, all the siblings. They're going to meet here at 10 in the morning. And then they can see the way forward. And then I was like, oh. I went to my younger brother and the last one, and Sammy, and I told him, do you know that there's a meeting? He said, I don't know. And I said, there's a meeting. So they all came at 10. They sat in the sitting room. And little did I know that their agenda of the meeting, the topmost agenda, was to evict me and my son, to leave the place. And in the meeting, they said the lawyer is the chairman. This one, Paul Mukomo, is the treasurer. And my sister's son is the secretary.
So they had already planned before.
And then after talking for some few minutes, they had already planned it in town or planned it during the morning period because they were not telling me. So it caught me by surprise.
You're telling me 24 hours before the body is dry, like the body. You haven't even...
We buried her yesterday.
And then
this is the next morning.
They're meeting to evict you.
To evict me.
Why are they evicting you?
And I was like, they said they want to put a caretaker in this house. And then my younger brother asked them, is the caretaker going to take good care of the house more than Jane was doing? And they were like, no, we want to rent out the house. And in this meeting now, they said everyone has to take whatever you bought and brought here. This is our old homestead where we grew. Before that one was built, here is where we stayed, all of us, 9 and our parents. We stayed. We grew here. This was the main house. It's a house of 3 rooms and 1 store. This was the girls' room, the sitting room, and my parents' room. And this was the kitchen. This was a store. And we grew in this compound, all of us. The place where we buried my mother, this is the graveyard. I can come show you where we had buried. My father was buried there 11 years back. My mother was always buried there. My sister, whom I follow, is also buried there.
So you're dividing your mother's property.
They started taking one, the lawyer said, I bought a pickup, I'm taking it back. It has been here with my father. My father died 11 years back, 2011, and my mother died this year.
Last year.
And I was told also, you bought a tractor, take it. You bought a maize portion meal, but take it. And I was like, how do I take these old scrap metals, which are already gone? They can't work. And you have to leave the place.
Was there...
And in the meeting, they kept repeating, when are you leaving this place?
So they come to this meeting that is organized here, that you're not aware about, that you show up in, and they say, I've made a decision that you must leave and give us to the caretaker. What were their reasons?
And then I was like, I was asking them, why? And then all of a sudden I said, but the way you are talking, you people, is like you did this meeting somewhere, you are just transferring it here, and you want me to leave. The answer was, when? I said, when about what? John Kirika said, when are you leaving? The advocate also said, when are you leaving? And I told them, this is what I told them, Mr. Mongi. You are who you are because of me. You have houses to live, you have houses to rent because I took you to school. I educated you to this level whereby you own properties. I am the only one without my own house. I only have land and I have not built a house. And that's why you are telling me I have to leave. And I have to take what I bought for my parents. Because my father used to be a carpenter, but all of a sudden, I changed his life. I bought him a tractor and he started carrying a mobile portion mill with that tractor. I bought the portion mill also. And I was told, take those items. But they are old. And then I told them, it's because of me you have places to stay. And now you are evicting me. One of them said, we know you are traumatized. You are overwhelmed because of your mother's death. And I said,
not our mother's death, it's your mother's death now.
And I said, I have audio records of mom saying that I should not live just without my will. Can we listen? My younger brother said, can we listen the audio will of mom? They said, we cannot listen to the dead. And I said, she spoke when she was alive. Wow. They said they can't listen. That's when I know this heated meeting has an agenda. And I said, now, what timeline are you giving me? Because here I am with the burial permit of mom. I have to take the death certificate. And I was told by the hospital, because there they wrote me as the next of kin, it will take 2 weeks to process the death certificate. Okay, after 2 weeks, give us the death certificate and leave. I said, okay. Do you know where mom kept her title deeds? Yes. We're gonna sell all the animals. Now they came with their own agendas. And
how many animals did your mother have?
I can't count.
Do how many?
Goats, I can't count them. And I think they were like, if not over 30, 40, like.
So you had about 40 goats,
Yeah,
which
and
they were selling them now.
They were cattle, yeah. Then after the meeting, they wake up and disperse, knowing that now I've agreed I will leave after 2 weeks.
So you've been evicted from your mother's house.
I've been evicted from the family house.
It's a family home.
Yeah, it's a family home. It's where I can call home. But the next day, that was date 8.
Yes.
On the date 8, I don't remember, but it must be a weekend. Their lawyer sent for the pickup. He sent a driver to come for the pickup. He took the pickup, went to town. The thing that followed is the lawyer and Paul Mukumu. They came together here.
The lawyer has a name. What's his name?
Karanja
Mbugua and Paul Mukumu. Okay.
They came here and they had a small truck which parked beyond that gate. They loaded all the animals to sell them. To sell the animals. They came with a buyer. They sold all the animals. But they never greeted me. They never spoke to me.
Are these your siblings?
These are my siblings.
Brought up in the same house?
In the same house. We grew together. I educated them. I paid their school fees. Where I was not able, I could get bursaries and pay for them. But here they come, they sell all the animals, but they didn't greet me. So my eyebrows now.
You became suspicious.
I became suspicious something is wrong. But because I've been told to leave.
And you have 2 weeks to leave. So you just waited for a time.
I'm here with my son, and the other son has gone to Nairobi, and I already told them I've been given time frame to leave. They sell the animals and they don't talk to me.
So when the animals went, they were sold?
They were sold.
Did they send you some money?
Nothing. The 7th day.
Since you buried?
After we buried her. The 7th day, I see now Paul Mukumu come with John Kereka who follows him. And I had not seen Kereka.
Yeah.
But during the funeral, I could see them like they have tension. They are not talking to me less. Yeah. On the 13th of January, my son has gone to the shops and he was having a car hire. He was driving a car hire, which he had used in the funeral, so he has not returned it.
That is Dennis.
Dennis Mbugua.
Yes.
So I know he has gone and the gate is open. It's wide open. I'm inside the house.
Yeah.
But I used to lock from inside sometimes when I'm alone. Because I can go to the bedroom, somebody will open the sitting room, the main door, and come in. So I'm now sitting in the sitting room. Actually, I was on a phone call talking to one pastor. And then I cut the call. I cut the call on that morning when I saw a pastor come in and one lady from his church. And when they came in, they came at 11 in the morning. And they said, Jane, we had not come to console you. And since we did the funeral, and so today we came to console and pray with you. When the pastor left, little did I know, I did not take long. It's like a span of 2 hours. I see my brothers come in.
That is Paul and John.
Yeah, when they came to the door, they passed through the kitchen door. They said, it is closed. It seems locked. And I could hear because I've seen them. Then when I went to open, they are not there. They've already gone like this way to check this other door. There's 2 entries.
Yeah.
Then they came in. The door is open. When they came in, now they come in different face. Because when they came in, oh, it's not closed. They came in. Nobody greeted me. They find me seated in the sitting room. And Paul said, this is the last day you are in this house. We are gonna get you out. And now you have to give us your phone. We are ceasing your communication. It's blows and punching me, blows, beating me. And then I said, what is it?
That is Paul and John, both of them beating you.
Yeah. And I said, 2 weeks is not over. Oh, no. And you must give us the land documents for this place. Give us the land document of this place. You must leave this house. They are shouting and beating me. And then in a span of beating me like 15 or 10 minutes, they left. Quick, like people who have forgotten something. And then I saw this is danger. Let me look for the way to go, where to hide. By the time they come in, I didn't want to follow them because I don't know if they're still outside there or where they are. So I ran to my mother's bedroom. And then my mother's bedroom has two doors. There's one door with glass, you can see outside, you can see people coming in the sitting room, and there's a wooden door. So I managed to stand on this glass door to check on them. Then I saw people coming in, they are armed. And I was like, oh. Then
What were they carrying?
They were having crowbars, and there was a panga, and there was this some rungu and what, and they came in furious. Then I said, in my heart, I said, this is war. I can't wait for this. I ran inside the bedroom and I closed the wooden door. When I closed the wooden door, it's like I called for war now. I remember saying, what is wrong with you people? I'm still mourning, ma'am. Why are you fighting? Why are you beating me? We want to kill you today and bury you like your mother today.
That's what they told you?
The way they said it in Kikuyu, wow. That's what they said. And I knew this is danger now.
Were they out of their mind? Were they sober? Were they drunk?
I don't know if they were normal. Then from there, the door now, they hit the door, mash the door, the door got open. When the door got open, they descended on me in the bedroom, fighting me, beating me, but asking for the land document. And I said, the land document, you know where your mother kept? There it is, the bag. It's like a folder bag, a black one. And then they were like, where? That's what time I'm on the floor. When they got the bag, I see them now starting leaving the bedroom with the bag. They now have the land document. They know the bag has got documents.
That's what they came for.
And maybe they thought I would say I don't know where they are. Then I'm busy also trying to hide under the bed. I can't fit. I am busy trying to open the behind door. I cannot because there is luggage. I'm busy. They were just messed in the bedroom. Then from there, I decided now, where do I go? These people, they are armed. But let me follow because I cannot hear them in the house anymore. Let me follow to see the way they have gone. By that time, they have gone. And when they have gone, they have tried to close me in. Now I started peeping through the window. Is when I see they have descended on my son. I didn't know my son has already come. He's in the compound now because he had just gone briefly to the shops. They descended on him. We're using the panga and the crowbar, hammering him on the head. Another one holding like this, leaving him on the floor. When they beat him this and this, he fell down.
So they were cutting him with a panga?
Cutting him with a panga. After cutting him, he's on the floor. They were courageous. They went to the tap, they washed the panga, they drop it there. Next. Hapa ndio walichomelea. This is where they were welding, and the time they were welding here, this door used to open, but they came that day with a welding machine and they welded the door. And by the time they are welding the door, it's after cutting my son, and my son, I will show you the place where my son was cut. The machine was here welding using that socket. And by the time they were cutting my son came and parked the car outside that gate. He came like this. That is an entrance door, the one you see welded. We have also another entrance door through the kitchen there. And here now is where they come. My son, I think, was coming to go through this entrance. And here is where they descended on him. And cut him. And I think you can still see the traces of blood up to today. This was blood. That was blood. You can see blood up to the pavement there. Here is where they cut him and left him bleeding in this place. And here is where the police pick him, and I was seeing it through this window. Through this window inside the house is where I was seeing them doing it, through that window. But they could not see me. And then that time they have locked that door through the outside, and I can open it in the inside. So I opened it and I came out, and I went to go and call for help. And it is 1 hour the time that the sun is hot, because it was 1 o'clock. It was 1, they came at 1. So my son stayed here up to 2 in the afternoon to be picked.
So they left him dead on the floor?
They thought he's dead. When I find my son, he was in this position and he was like, he
was in pain, groaning in pain.
Out. and blood was rolling. Then now I managed to open, and I ran for my life. Before I ran for my life, I am here where my son is. I'm seeing them there. I went to the road here. I found one man from driving a motor. He knows me with a motorbike. I said, go call me a doctor or a nurse and call me the police. My son is dying in the compound. My brothers came and they cut him into pieces, the head into pieces. They cut his head into pieces. So please get me help.
So when
He went to the police, he called the nurse. They came with the police. They are the ones who lifted the boy from the ground, took him to the hospital, straight to ICU. I am still in the shamba hiding here in the farm. Is when somebody came and found me there and said, they have gone. Your son has been taken to the hospital. That is one man we call this Mzee wa Nyumba Kumi.
Yes.
He told me, and your son's car is there in the compound, and your brothers cannot be seen, and I think there's peace. You can go and look for somebody to drive out that car. When I went to the police to report, is where I find John Kireka writing his statement.
Saying what?
Say he was already arrested because he went to hide in this compound, the old compound.
Oh, when the police came, he ran away.
But Paul had already gone.
Okay.
Paul had already gone. I think he went to the road and got mints and left the area, forgetting the other brother. The other brother was, I think when you want to pour blood and kill somebody, you don't go far. He was arrested here. And then now I found him writing a statement. And that time I was crying and shouting. The police said, no, just wake up, give Mama a seat, and then we can hear from her. They said I can't write a statement because I'm emotional and I should come tomorrow to write it at the station there, not at the police post.
So which police post did you
Miti Mingi here. We have a police post at the
Miti
shopping
Mingi.
center, yeah.
But you're told to go to which police station?
I'll go now to ICU to see my son.
Also,
And then I'll go to Elementator, write a statement.
okay.
So I passed to Elementator. They also told me the same. I should go to the hospital and come back tomorrow to write a statement.
So you went to the ICU?
I went to the ICU, and when I arrived there in the hospital, I was told by the doctor my son is not well. My son is critical. I should be in prayers. And that time I find I think he cannot be seen. So they said, because you are the mother, we can allow you. So I just went in and came out, but he was on the machine. And I think the deep cuts which he had, he was having 7 cuts on the head. And on the left ear, he was having a cut also. And a jaw was affected, like a broken jaw. It was not okay. And then the next day now, I have to go and write a statement. And when I went to the police to write a statement, I demanded my brother to be removed from custody to see him. My heart was telling me I should want to see him.
Yeah.
Then when I see him, I ask him, why did you pour my son's blood? Because the blood of my son will cry to you. You are my brother, and I will still call you my brother. But the demon in you, the devil in you which said you should pour his blood, why did you do that? And where is your other brother? He ran away. My sister. I said, I took you to school. Did I? I educated you up to university. Did I? Yes. I took care of your father. I gave my father for 6 months until he rested. I saw him breathe his last. I took care of my mother 2 years until he breathed his last. Why did you decide to pay me good for evil? Why did you decide to do that to my son?
What did he say?
And by that time, we are with my son, Anton. He was like this, and then he said, can I talk? I said, no, don't. Then the officer said, let him talk. Then when he spoke, he said, my sister, I was just caught in the midst of separating a fight. Then he stayed in the hospital for 13 days. And on the 14th day, I'm there with him every day. And on the 14th day, the doctors said he's weak and it looks like he cannot make it. And by that time, he had already been given 2 pints of blood for transfusion because he bled so much. And then the doctor said on the 14th day at 2:05 afternoon.
Afternoon, okay.
He succumbed.
So now they've been charged for murder.
They are now being charged for murder, and the case is in Naivasha High Court. Yeah, this is the grave where we buried him. You can see his cross there. And we decided to cement the place because there's no development in this land and we were afraid of people coming to mess the grave.
I know you're going through a lot of pain.
It's painful.
I'm so sorry for losing your son. Have they spoken to you? Have they tried to explain why they did it?
Nobody has ever reached me.
So
not even when my son was in the hospital, not even when I was burying and mourning him. I never heard from anybody.
Your advocate brother and the other siblings,
they don't talk to me.
When you're burying your son, did your siblings come to bury your son?
They didn't. But I had people of goodwill who helped me and supported.
So the people that you raised and supported all your life?
Nobody. And this other Paul, when he left this compound, he went to town, and that was it. He was at large. And the police started hunting for him. He was arrested after 3 days in the Jomo Kenyatta airport, trying to flee the country because he's a resident of the United States. He has a dual citizen of Kenya and United States. He stays in Missouri. Then John, after writing the statement, he was arrested and kept in custody. The police that arrested him requested him to drive his car, the one they came with. It was a car hire,
yes,
a Fielder. And it was a white car in the police post there. The police decided to search the car. Yes. And they found weapons in the car. There was petrol, there was a rope, there was crowbars, there was Masai rungus, there was a hacksaw, there was a hammer, but the weapon, the panga they had used, it was still here by that time.
So did the police confiscate those weapons?
I think they confiscated them.
So the weapons are in the police?
I think they're in custody because as we are talking now, the matter is in Naivasha High Court.
Criminal case is 001 Judge 2023. That is Republic versus John Kirika and Paul Mukumu Mbugua.
And I wish to make an observation of the following legal position regarding bail and bond. That first and foremost, under Article 49, bail and bond is a constitutional right. Section 123 and Section 123 capital A of the CPC allows the court to admit an accused person on reasonable bond terms.
Today, Paul and John were released on 2 million bond and surety of the same amount. And her fear is that they're going to come back and hurt her. Yeah. She brought them up and they sexually assaulted her. Like, it's very improper. She's 60 years old and she says they allegedly...
They were pulling my breast looking for the phone. When I put it inside my body, they are putting in their hands looking for it. What I would want to get, and I've prayed for, is justice to prevail for my son, even if he's resting in the grave. I would want justice for him. And I want to say this. I have lost, because all I know, he'll never come back to life. But what I want is justice.
Have you seen your grandkids?
Yeah, they are there. One is 4 years, the other one is 1 year, 3 months.
How are they doing?
When I see them, I see my son. But I know they have been denied a father. They have been denied somebody to bring them up. And it will not sit well with them. The day they will know it is my own brothers who killed their father.
I'm sorry.
It's so painful even for my son who is living now. When he knows
Anthony,
it's my own brothers who did this for the brother. It's so painful. That's why I would fight for the justice. And that's why I pray that justice will prevail.
Are you homeless now? Where are you staying?
Well, I cannot tell you where I'm staying because I'm moving from one place to another.
You don't feel safe?
I don't feel secure. And where I used to call home is here and I cannot stay. Already I found the place is locked with new padlocks. I can't stay because I'm afraid the thing that happened to my son might happen to me.
We reached out to Paul Kirika and John Mukumu to respond to the allegations, but they never got back to us. We sent an email to their lawyer and they never said anything about the allegations. We hope as the trial begins that Jane is going to get justice for the death of her son. You are watching Semo Kweli. Thank you for your support and we'll be happy to tell your story and help you get justice.